Throughout history, humanity has looked to the sky in search of answers. From the earliest observers to space explorers, the fascination with the universe has been constant. What lies beyond our planet? Are we really alone in the cosmos? These mysteries have driven generations to challenge the unknown and venture beyond Earth's atmosphere in an attempt to understand the secrets of space. Today, we continue to seek answers. And on this journey, the deepest enigmas of the universe await us. Interest in the universe is not something new. From the ancient Babylonians who charted the first constellations to modern scientists sending probes to explore the far reaches of the solar system, human curiosity has been a constant driving force. Throughout history, we have created mythologies and theories that attempt to explain our place in the universe. How many civilizations have imagined gods among the stars? Each culture has woven its own narrative, reflecting its understanding of the cosmos. Over time, the telescope became a revolutionary tool. Before its invention, sky observation depended on the naked eye and the interpretation of patterns. But when Galileo Galilei pointed his telescope to the sky, the world was illuminated with new discoveries. Who could have imagined that Jupiter had its own moons and that Venus went through phases similar to those of the moon? These findings not only expanded our knowledge but also challenged deeply held beliefs. Centuries passed and the question persisted: what else is out there? With the advent of the space age, humanity took a giant leap. The Apollo missions took humans to the moon, while probes like Voyager crossed the solar system, sending images and data that brought us closer to the unknown. What secrets do the planets and moons of our solar system hold? Each new discovery leads us to more questions, creating a domino effect of curiosity. Meanwhile, science has unraveled some of the deepest mysteries. The Big Bang Theory offers us a glimpse into the origin of the universe, while concepts like dark matter and dark energy show us that our understanding is just the tip of the iceberg. What are these invisible forces that shape our reality? The quest for answers has become a journey as exciting as the discovery itself. The exploration of the universe does not stop at our solar system. Galaxies, black holes, and the possibility of life on other planets have sparked the imagination of scientists and dreamers alike. Could there be life on a distant exoplanet? With each new telescope launched into space, the answer to this question becomes a little closer, as if the universe is whispering its secrets. Humanity has traveled a long and winding road in its quest for knowledge. The history of human interest in the universe is a testament to our innate curiosity. From the first star observers to modern scientists studying the mysteries of the cosmos, each step has been a move toward understanding what surrounds us. The connection between science and philosophy is also undeniable. As we advance in our understanding of the universe, we face profound questions about our existence. What does it mean to be human in such a vast and enigmatic cosmos? These reflections not only enrich our understanding, but also invite us to dream and imagine a future where we continue to explore. Each discovery takes us further and, at the same time, reminds us how little we really know. The story of our space exploration is a tale of courage, ingenuity, and perseverance. Each mission, each observation is a step on the ladder of knowledge. How far will we be able to go? As we look to the future, interest in the universe seems to only grow. New technologies, such as next-generation telescopes and exploratory probes, promise to reveal even more secrets. The search for life on Mars, explorations of the icy moons of Jupiter and Saturn, and the understanding of cosmic phenomena push us to move forward. What new wonders await us on the journey? Human curiosity is insatiable. Every answer we find opens the door to new questions, and each discovery invites us to keep exploring. As we progress on this cosmic journey, let us remember that the pursuit of knowledge is ultimately a quest for ourselves. What legacy will we leave for future generations? Thus, the story of our interest in the universe is not just a narrative about stars and planets, but also about the very essence of what it means to be human. In our quest to unravel the mysteries of the cosmos, we find ourselves. Each step we take brings us a little closer to understanding who we are and our place in the vast universe. Since time immemorial, humans have looked to the sky in wonder. How did our home form in the vast cosmos? In this quest for answers, the history of our solar system reveals itself as a fascinating puzzle of cosmic events and natural forces. The formation of the solar system is like a grand theatre where each actor, from the sun to the planets, plays a crucial role in the creation's play. The journey begins about 4,600,000,000 years ago, in a cloud of gas and cosmic dust located in a corner of the universe. Imagine a massive whirlwind of material slowly spinning under the influence of gravity. As this cloud collapsed, the center became increasingly dense and hot, giving life to our star, the Sun. But what happened to the rest of the material? Did it disappear? Not at all. This leftover material began to clump together, forming the planets, asteroids, and other celestial bodies we know today. The story of planetary formation is a tale of chaos and collisions. Small fragments of rock and ice began to come together, like pieces of a puzzle, forming miniature planets that, like marbles in a game, collided with each other. Through these collisions, some grew larger, while others were destroyed. Can you imagine what it would be like to witness those cosmic encounters? Imagine debris flying through space, with the heat and energy of those impacts shaping what would later become worlds. The formation of the planets was not a simple process. Did you know that Earth and other inner planets like Mars and Venus are rocky, while Jupiter and Saturn are gas giants? This is due to each planet's location in relation to the Sun. In the vicinity of the Sun, where temperatures were higher, lighter and more volatile materials, like hydrogen and helium, could not condense. In contrast, the more distant planets, where it was colder, were able to capture those gases, becoming enormous spheres of gas. This is how a family of planets with such diverse characteristics was formed. As the planets formed, other celestial bodies, such as asteroids and comets, also emerged. These small objects are like the remnants of an ancient construction workshop, leaving clues about the history and evolution of our solar system. But what role did they play in the formation of Earth? Many scientists believe that these celestial bodies were responsible for bringing water and other essential elements for life, an unexpected gift from the far reaches of space. However, the story doesn't end there. The formation of the solar system was also marked by moments of extraordinary violence. Imagine a cosmic billiards game where planets and asteroids collide and bounce in the vastness of space. These impacts have left marks on the surfaces of the planets like scars from past battles. The Moon, for example, formed as a result of one of these cataclysmic encounters when a body the size of Mars collided with Earth, ejecting material into space that eventually coalesced to become our natural satellite. But why is it important to know the history of our solar system's formation? Understanding how our home formed helps us comprehend our place in the universe. It allows us to appreciate the complexity and beauty of life on Earth, as well as the fragility of our planet in a vast cosmos full of mysteries. Each planet, each moon, and each asteroid tells a unique story. And by learning them, we can glimpse the past and future of our solar system. Through telescopes and space missions, we have begun to unravel these mysteries. We have sent probes to Mars, Jupiter, and beyond, seeking answers about the formation of the planets and the conditions that may have led to the emergence of life. Each discovery is a new chapter in this cosmic story, a reminder that we still have much to learn. The exploration of the solar system not only helps us understand our past, but also raises intriguing questions about our future. Could there be other solar systems that formed similarly to ours? Are there distant worlds where life might have found a home? The search for these answers drives us to continue exploring, to keep asking. In conclusion, the formation of the solar system is a fascinating journey through time and space, from the creation of the sun to the formation of the planets. Each step in this process has been crucial in shaping our home. And as we look to the stars, let us remember that we are part of a much larger story, a story that continues to unfold in the vast theatre of the universe. So the next time you look at the starry sky, think of the incredible story that lies behind each bright point. The Earth and the Moon, two celestial bodies that seem destined to dance together on the vast stage of space. Since time immemorial, our relationship with the Moon has been a source of wonder and curiosity. But how did this silvery companion, which watches us every night, come to be? The answer to this question is not simple and is filled with fascinating theories. To understand how the Earth and the Moon came to be what they are today, it is essential to go back in time, to an era when our planet was a very different place. Imagine a world filled with erupting volcanoes and an ocean of boiling magma. That was the Earth more than 4 billion years ago. An inhospitable and chaotic place. But amid this chaos, a monumental event was about to happen. What could have caused the formation of the Moon in the midst of all this turmoil? One of the most accepted theories suggests that a body the size of Mars, known as Theia, collided with the primitive Earth. This impact was not just a brush, it was a titanic explosion that launched a huge amount of material into space. But what happened to all that debris? The answer is fascinating. The resulting fragments began to group together, giving rise to our Moon. This is how, in a dramatic twist of fate, the Earth not only survived but also gained a celestial companion. The Moon is not just a satellite, it is a reflection of the history of the Earth. Its surface is filled with craters, each telling a story of cosmic impacts that have shaped both celestial bodies. But why does the Moon seem to have a familiar face? That is an optical illusion, but its presence in the sky has influenced human culture throughout the centuries, inspiring myths, legends, and even songs. The relationship between the Earth and the Moon goes beyond the visual. The Moon's gravity affects our planet in surprising ways, such as the creation of tides. Did you know that without the Moon, the tides would be much weaker? This would have a significant impact on marine life and the ecosystems of our oceans. The Moon acts as a regulator, maintaining balance on our planet. In ancient times, civilizations observed the Moon and its cycle, using it to mark time and seasons. But how did this affect the daily lives of our ancestors? From agriculture to navigation, the Moon has been a guide for humanity. Its light has illuminated dark nights and has witnessed countless stories. However, the Moon has also been a subject of scientific curiosity. With advances in technology, we have sent missions to explore its surface. The Apollo missions, for example, not only took humans to the Moon, but also brought back samples that have taught us much about its composition. But there are still many unanswered questions. What other secrets does the Moon hide within? As we explore further, we discover that the Moon plays a crucial role in our understanding of the universe. Studying its formation helps us better understand the history of our own planet and the solar system as a whole. Each new mission brings us one step closer to unveiling the mysteries that still remain. The relationship between the Earth and the Moon is also marked by the idea of exploration. The possibility of returning to the Moon and establishing permanent bases has captured the imagination of scientists and dreamers alike. Could humans live on the Moon someday? This question is not just a fantasy, it is a possibility that is actively being explored today. As we look at the Moon, we cannot help but wonder about its future. What will happen as the Earth and the Moon continue their cosmic dance? Although the moon is slowly drifting away from the Earth each year, our connection with it will endure. The story of the Earth and the moon is one of love, chaos, and discovery. Together, they have come a long way, and there is still much to learn. This bond not only speaks to our past, but also invites us to dream about the future. What other secrets will the moon reveal to us as we continue to explore the universe? So, in the silence of the night, when you look up and see the moon, remember that it is not just a satellite. It is a testament to our shared history and a reminder of the wonder of the cosmos that surrounds us. The Earth and the moon, a cosmic duo that continues to spin on the vast stage of the universe. The moon, that bright satellite that accompanies us every night, has fascinated humanity since time immemorial. But how did it come to be there? What stories do scientists tell us about its formation? The giant impact hypothesis is one of the most accepted theories, and it sounds like something out of a science fiction movie. But in reality, it is an idea that helps us understand the origin of our natural satellite. Imagine that billions of years ago, in the dawn of the solar system, a celestial body the size of Mars, known as Theia, was on a collision course with the young Earth. This impact was so violent that, upon colliding, part of the Earth and Theia broke off and became fragments that orbited around our planet. Over time, these debris coalesced, forming what we now know as the Moon. Isn't it amazing to think that our nighttime companion is, in part, the offspring of a cosmic cataclysm? However, this is not the only story that has been told about lunar formation. There are other theories that attempt to explain how the Moon formed. One of them suggests that the Moon formed independently, in a distant corner of the solar system, and was later captured by Earth's gravity. Although this idea is intriguing, it faces several challenges, especially in terms of the Moon's chemical composition, which is very similar to that of Earth. Is it possible that such a distant celestial body could share such a common origin with our planet? Another hypothesis that has been considered is the one suggesting that the Moon formed gradually, accumulating material from the remnants of other celestial bodies that orbited around Earth. This process, while more plausible in some aspects, also presents its own difficulties. How can we explain the uniqueness of the Moon, which shares so many characteristics with our planet but also has marked differences, such as its lack of atmosphere and its rocky desert-like surface? One of the most intriguing questions is, why does the Moon have such a significant impact on our planet? From the tides it generates in our oceans to its influence on the climate and the life cycle of many species, the Moon is a key player in the theatre of Earth. But could our lives be different if the Moon had formed in a different way? As scientists continue to investigate, more sophisticated models have been proposed that combine existing theories. These models attempt to piece together the lunar puzzle and examine how each theory can contribute something unique to our understanding of the past. Science, after all, is a constantly evolving process. Isn't it fascinating to think that each new piece of evidence could rewrite the history of the Moon? Space missions have also provided valuable information about the Moon. The samples brought back by astronauts from the Apollo program have revealed data that have challenged some theories and supported others. What secrets do those rock fragments brought to Earth hold? Each analysis can give us a new clue about how our satellite formed. In addition to the theories of its formation, there is the question of the Moon's future. As humanity advances in space exploration, some wonder if we will eventually colonize the Moon. What implications would this have for our understanding of its history and formation? The idea of living on the Moon raises philosophical and scientific questions about our relationship with this satellite. The stories of the Moon are not only scientific, they are also filled with mythology and folklore. From ancient civilizations that worshipped it as a deity to poets who have immortalized it in their verses, the Moon has captured human imagination. How does our perception of the Moon influence our quest for answers about its origin? In this journey through the theories about the formation of the moon, we encounter the complexity of the cosmos. Each hypothesis is a testament to our curiosity and desire to understand our place in the universe. The search for the truth about the moon reveals not only the history of a satellite, but also the history of humanity itself. As we explore these theories, we must not forget that the universe is full of surprises. Advances in technology and space exploration continue to challenge our beliefs and expand our horizons. What new revelations await us in the future? The moon, always watchful, keeps reminding us that there is much more to discover. Thus, as we look up at the sky and contemplate the beauty of the moon, let us remember that its story is a reflection of our own, a journey of discovery and wonder that continues to unfold. Every time we look at the moon, we are reminded that we are part of a vast and mysterious cosmos, full of questions yet to be answered. What will be the next revelation about our eternal lunar companion? The adventure has just begun. If you're enjoying this journey through the universe and want to keep exploring more cosmic mysteries, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and give the video a like. Thank you for being part of this Star Odyssey. Did you know that Mars, the red planet, has been an object of fascination for centuries? Its distinctive color and proximity to Earth have sparked the curiosity of scientists and dreamers alike. The question we all ask is, was there water on Mars? The answer is more complex than it seems, and its history is as fascinating as the planet itself. Imagine a vibrant Mars covered in oceans that reflect the sunlight. For a long time, scientists have debated whether this watery landscape ever existed. Images from space missions have revealed dry riverbeds and minerals that only form in the presence of water. But how did it go from being a water-filled world to a frozen desert? This is the mystery we will explore. Water is an essential element for life as we know it. On Earth, it is the component that sustains our ecosystems. But on Mars, water has left a trace of its existence in the form of ice and vapor. How do we know this? Probes that have orbited and explored Mars have found evidence of ice at the poles and beneath the surface. These explorations have changed our view of Mars, giving us clues about a wetter past. The Martian rivers and lakes, although dry today, are witnesses to a time when Mars may have been a habitable planet. Images taken from space show channels that appear to have been sculpted by the erosion of water. But what happened to all that water? The answer may lie in the Martian atmosphere, which is incredibly thin and cannot retain heat. This led to cooling that over time caused the water to evaporate, leaving only remnants of its existence. However, not all is lost. Current research suggests that we may still find water on Mars. Deep within its crust, there may be reserves of frozen water, which could be crucial for future manned missions. This raises an intriguing question. Could Mars become a habitable world again if a denser atmosphere could be generated? The possibility of life on Mars is not just a dream. Scientists are investigating whether organisms ever existed in its waters. What kind of life could have thrived in a Martian environment? Imagine tiny microorganisms living in the beds of those ancient rivers. The search for evidence of past life has become one of the main objectives of Mars missions. As technology advances, the tools we use to explore Mars also improve. Rovers, equipped with sophisticated instruments, are designed to analyze the soil and search for signs of water and life. But what challenges do these robotic explorers face? Dust storms and extreme temperatures are just some of the obstacles they must overcome to send their findings back home. Let's reflect on the impact of water on Mars. If there was ever an ocean, its disappearance has left traces on the planet's surface. Scientists are trying to reconstruct Mars's history, using these clues to understand how a promising world became a frozen desert. Could it be that Mars's fate serves as a reminder of how fragile life is on a planet? But Mars is not the only planet with a fascinating water-related history. Studying its history helps us better understand the climate and geology of other planets. Through Mars, we can learn about processes that might be happening on distant worlds. What other planets might have had water and therefore the possibility of life? Water on Mars is not just a scientific topic, it is also a symbol of hope. The search for water and life on Mars inspires us to keep exploring and to question our place in the universe. Each discovery on this planet could be a step toward the future of humanity, whether in the colonization of other worlds or in the protection of our own home. Now imagine a group of astronauts embarking on a mission to explore Mars. With the accumulated knowledge about water and the planet's history, they are equipped to search for signs of life and resources that could help establish a base on the red planet. The idea that one day we could live on Mars becomes increasingly plausible. In conclusion, the story of water on Mars is a reminder of the connection between our planet and the universe. The search for water not only helps us understand Mars, but also prompts us to reflect on our own planet and the importance of caring for our resources. As we look to the stars, the exploration of Mars remains one of humanity's most exciting adventures. What other secrets will this enigmatic planet reveal in the future? The answer lies beyond our current understanding. But the search continues. Mars, the red planet, has fascinated humanity for centuries. But what happened to this world that was once so different from what it is today? In a distant time, Mars was a vibrant place filled with water, with rivers and lakes that could have been home to some form of life. However, the story of its transformation is a tale of drastic changes and mysteries that still intrigue us. To understand how Mars became a frozen desert, it is important to imagine a scenario. Imagine a planet covered by vast oceans where life could have thrived. Now, think about how that same planet becomes an arid place where water seems to have disappeared. The change was not sudden, it was a process that took millions of years. But what were the causes of such a drastic transformation? One of the most intriguing theories suggests that Mars lost its atmosphere, which is like a blanket that protects a planet from cold and radiation. Without a proper atmosphere, the water on the surface evaporated, and what was once a watery world turned into a desolate landscape. But why did this happen? One possible answer lies in the size of Mars. Unlike Earth, Mars is much smaller and therefore does not have enough gravity to hold onto a dense atmosphere. Think about what happens when you inflate a balloon. If the balloon has a small hole, the air will slowly escape. The same happened with Mars. Over time, its atmosphere faded away, and this affected not only the water on its surface but also the planet's temperature. Can you imagine how it would feel in a place that was once warm and humid, now turned cold and dry? That is the reality of Mars today. The role of the Sun in this story is crucial. Mars is farther from the Sun than Earth, which means it receives less heat and light. But that's not all. The lack of a strong magnetic field also allowed solar wind, a stream of charged particles emitted by the Sun, to erode its atmosphere. This phenomenon is like being on a beach with a strong wind constantly blowing, gradually taking the sand away from your feet. Over time, this process left Mars vulnerable and exposed, accelerating its transformation. As we observe Mars, it is hard not to wonder, could there have been life in its past? The answer is still up in the air, but evidence suggests that there may have been favorable conditions. Scientists have found minerals that only form in the presence of water, indicating that indeed Mars was a place where water flowed. What if we discovered that there was once life on Mars? That would change our understanding of the universe and of life itself. Through space missions, such as the Perseverance rover, we have been searching for signs of this past life. Every rock and soil sample we analyze is like a clue in a puzzle that helps us better understand the history of Mars. However, the question persists. If Mars was a home for life, what happened to it? Extreme climate changes also played a role. Mars experienced cycles of cold and heat, which may have led to a series of extinctions. Imagine an ecosystem forced to adapt to hostile conditions where water becomes a scarce resource. Could organisms have struggled to survive or gone completely extinct? The Martian landscapes, filled with canyons and volcanoes, are witnesses to a tumultuous history. The famous region of Valles Marineris, a gigantic canyon system, could have been the result of intense tectonic activity and erosion caused by water in the past. What secrets might be hidden in these geological formations? Each exploration brings us closer to understanding what Mars was like at its peak. Over time, Mars has become a fascinating place of study for scientists. The search for water in the form of ice at its poles and beneath its surface is a primary goal. If we find ice, we could have the key to understanding not only Mars's past but also its future. Could Mars be a place where humanity might one day settle? The idea is exciting, but it also raises many questions about our relationship with other worlds. As we continue to explore, it is vital to remember that Mars is not just a neighboring planet. It is a mirror reflecting our own history on Earth. Looking at Mars invites us to question our own conditions and the future we face. Perhaps the transformation of Mars is a reminder of how fragile an ecosystem can be and how the actions we take today can influence our world tomorrow. So the next time you look up at the sky and see that bright red dot, remember that there is a deep and mysterious story behind it. The transformation of Mars is a journey through time, a journey that teaches us about evolution, adaptation, and, above all, the search for life beyond our planet. Are we ready to discover what else the universe has in store for us? The Great Red Spot of Jupiter is one of the most fascinating phenomena in the solar system, a gigantic hurricane that has been raging for centuries. But what makes this storm so special? For starters, it is enormous, larger than Earth itself. Imagine a swirling mass of clouds that could house 2 or 3 planets the size of our home. Have you ever wondered how long it has been active? It is estimated that this storm has been present for at least 300 years, making it a silent witness to the history of the universe. Observing the Great Red Spot, one might imagine what life is like inside this storm. The winds within reach speeds of up to 300 kilometers per hour. What would happen if we could navigate those currents? It would be like trying to surf on a wall of water that never stops moving. The force of these winds is so powerful that the clouds swirl and spin in a display of colors and shapes, something that could leave any artist breathless. The question that arises is, why has this storm endured for so long? The answer lies in the very nature of Jupiter. This gas giant has a rich and complex atmosphere, where various gases mix to create perfect conditions for massive storms to form. Just like a chef mixing ingredients to create an exquisite dish, the combination of internal heat, winds, and clouds on Jupiter gives rise to phenomena like the Great Red Spot. However, the Great Red Spot is not the only storm on Jupiter. In fact, there are thousands of smaller storms that appear and disappear constantly. What sets them apart from the Great Red Spot? These storms tend to be ephemeral, like fireworks in the sky, shining brightly for a short period before fading away. In contrast, the Great Red Spot is like an ancient oak tree that has withstood the test of time, a constant in a world of change. But did you know that the Great Red Spot is not static? Over the years, it has changed in shape and size, leading us to wonder, what is its future? Some scientists believe it may be shrinking, and although it is still gigantic, it is losing some of its splendor. Imagine a great wave that over time is slowly fading away. This raises a fascinating enigma. Could it eventually disappear completely? The idea that a storm that has existed for so long could vanish is unsettling. but it also invites us to reflect on the ephemeral nature of everything in the universe. The Great Red Spot also reveals something impressive about atmospheric dynamics on giant planets. By studying it, scientists can gain insights into how the atmospheres of other planets work. It's as if Jupiter is acting as a natural laboratory, allowing us to learn about meteorology on scales we could not replicate on Earth. Can you imagine what discoveries we could make by observing these distant storms? The study of the Great Red Spot is not limited to meteorology. It also tells us a lot about the composition of Jupiter. By analyzing the light reflected by the storm, scientists can deduce which gases are present and how they interact with each other. It's like reading a book in an unknown language where each word and phrase tells us more about the world around us. Thus, each observation becomes a new chapter in the story of Jupiter. Technological advancements have allowed scientists to study the Great Red Spot in greater depth. Space probes like Juno have provided images and data that were previously unimaginable. Who would have thought we could get a close-up view of a hurricane on another planet? The ability to observe these phenomena brings us a little closer to the mysteries of the cosmos, as if we are taking a step into the unknown. Moreover, the Great Red Spot is a reminder that the universe is full of surprises. Every time we think we have seen it all, a new phenomenon emerges that leaves us in awe. What other hidden wonders await us in the vastness of space? Human curiosity drives us to keep exploring, to keep seeking answers to questions we have yet to ask. The Great Red Spot also raises questions about life on other worlds. If such powerful storms can form in an environment as hostile as Jupiter's, what other phenomena might exist on distant planets? The search for extraterrestrial life often focuses on finding water, but perhaps we should also consider the extreme atmospheric conditions that could harbor unknown forms of life. As we reflect on the Great Red Spot, it is crucial to remember that each of these cosmic phenomena helps us better understand our place in the universe. The connection we feel with Jupiter and its storms is a reminder that, although we are in a small corner of a vast cosmos, we are part of a much larger story. In conclusion, the Great Red Spot is not just a storm, it is a symbol of the grandeur and complexity of the universe. It invites us to question and explore, to never stop seeking answers to the mysteries that surround us. As we continue to look to the sky, let us remember that each star, each planet, and each storm has a story to tell. And we are here to listen. What if I told you that Jupiter, the gas giant we all know, is also a true magnet for cosmic impacts? In the vast ocean of space, where asteroids and comets wander aimlessly, Jupiter stands as a guardian, protecting the inner planets, including our Earth, from a rain of celestial bodies that could threaten our existence. Jupiter's Great Red Spot, that gigantic storm that has been swirling for over 300 years, is not just a visual spectacle. This phenomenon is a reminder of how cosmic forces can interact and shape our solar system. But did you know that behind this storm lies a history of collisions that has marked the fate of many celestial bodies? Imagine a golf course with a giant golf ball in the center. Every time a smaller ball collides with the giant one, the latter remains practically intact, while the small one can be shattered. That's how Jupiter's gravity works. Its immense mass acts like a magnet that attracts approaching objects, preventing them from impacting more vulnerable planets. Let's talk about a fascinating event: the Shoemaker-Levy 9 impact in 1994. This was a series of collisions of a comet with Jupiter that left visible marks on its atmosphere. Can you imagine? A comet that had disintegrated into pieces, crashing into the giant, creating explosions that could be seen from telescopes on Earth. This event was not only an impressive spectacle but also taught us about the violent nature of space. Astronomers observed that the marks left by the impact were like footprints on a canvas. Each of these scars provides valuable information about the composition of Jupiter's atmosphere and its internal dynamics. But what does this mean for us? Each impact on Jupiter is a lesson in cosmic history that helps us better understand the dangers that could threaten us in the future. The science behind these impacts is fascinating. Every time an asteroid or comet approaches Jupiter, its gravity captures and accelerates it to incredible speeds. When it finally collides, it not only disintegrates, but also creates shockwaves that alter the planet's atmosphere in surprising ways. Have you ever wondered how a simple object can cause such a huge uproar on such a massive planet? Impacts on Jupiter do not only affect that planet. In the process, they can alter the trajectory of celestial bodies that could be heading toward Earth. So in a way, Jupiter acts as a protective shield, absorbing the energy from these impacts that could otherwise be devastating for us. Isn't it a relief to think that we have a giant like this watching over our cosmic neighborhood? However, Jupiter is not just a guardian, it is also a world full of mystery. With each mission we send, like the Juno probe, we discover more about its atmosphere, its moons, and its history. Each revelation leads us to wonder, what other secrets does this giant hide? What more can we learn about the formation of the solar system through its enormous storms and complex atmosphere? Jupiter's storms, including the Great Red Spot, are a spectacle that reminds us of the chaotic beauty of the cosmos. But these storms are also the result of an intense process of convection and atmospheric dynamics that scientists are still trying to unravel. Who would have thought that behind its majestic appearance lies a complex ballet of gases and extreme temperatures? And let's not forget that, although Jupiter is imposing, it is also a reminder of the fragility of our place in the universe. Each impact, each collision teaches us about the history of our own planet. As we continue to explore, the question that remains is, what other events are yet to come in the future of our solar system? The story of impacts on Jupiter is an essential chapter in the book of astronomy. Each collision is a page added to our understanding of the cosmos. Each mark left by an impact is a story to tell, a reminder that the universe is in constant motion and transformation. In this vast space, there is always something new to discover. As we look to the future, the exploration of Jupiter and its phenomena will remain crucial. Each mission and each discovery brings us closer to understanding not only Jupiter, but also the role it plays in the history of our own planet and the universe in general. Every time we look up at the sky, let us remember that Jupiter, with its beauty and power, is a constant companion in our quest for knowledge. So, the next time you find yourself staring at the stars, think of Jupiter, think of the imposing force it represents, the secrets it still holds, and how, even from so far away, its influence can become a crucial point in our cosmic history. Who knows how many more stories this gas giant has in store for us? The search continues, and the universe always has something new to teach us. What about the strange dark marks we find on Mars? This planet, which has captured our imagination for centuries, has a series of phenomena on its surface that have puzzled scientists. In various images taken by probes and rovers, these dark marks appear to change with the seasons. What causes them? Are they simply shadows, or is there something more? When observing Mars from afar, the planet presents itself as a dusty, bright red desert. But upon closer inspection, we discover that its surface is a true puzzle of patterns and textures. The dark marks that intrigued us at first, known as dark streaks, appear on slopes and craters, and their presence raises fascinating questions about Mars's geological and climatic activity. Sometimes these marks may resemble footprints in the sand, like those you might find on the beach after a low tide. But here, in the Martian context, the story is much more complex. Scientists have observed that these streaks can grow and fade over time. What kind of processes could be behind this? Is it possible that there is water or even microbial life interacting with the surface? One of the most intriguing theories suggests that these marks are the result of salty water flows emerging from underground during the warmer times of the Martian year. If this is true, it would become one of the strongest pieces of evidence for the existence of water on Mars, and therefore, for the conditions that could have allowed life in the past. But how does water behave on a planet as cold and dry as Mars? The answer may lie in the composition of the water, which could carry salts that allow it to remain liquid at lower than usual temperatures. Imagine an extremely hot summer day on Earth where ice melts quickly. On Mars, the situation is the opposite, but the salts could act as a type of natural antifreeze, helping the water to stay in liquid form for longer. The implications of this are enormous. If there is water, does it mean there is life? Some scientists have taken a more cautious approach. Despite the excitement generated by these marks, there are still many unanswered questions. Are they really fluids, or could they simply be a phenomenon related to dust and Martian weather? Perhaps we could be seeing something as simple as a change in lighting or erosion caused by strong winds. To better understand this enigma, researchers have analyzed data from different missions to Mars, from rovers to orbiting probes. This data has allowed for the creation of detailed maps of the surface, revealing patterns and connections that were previously invisible. But what happens when we try to replicate these conditions in a laboratory on Earth? Some scientists have taken Martian soil samples or compounds that simulate its chemistry to laboratories. There, they have been able to observe how they react under controlled conditions, trying to replicate the atmosphere and gravity of Mars. This imitation process also helps us better understand the dynamics that could be at play on the red planet. However, the results are often confusing and reveal how complicated it is to understand Mars. The story of the dark marks on Mars is a story of mystery and discovery. Each new mission, each new image offers us a new clue, a new angle from which to observe this fascinating planet. As we advance in our exploration, we encounter dilemmas that not only challenge us to think, but also invite us to imagine. What other surprises does Mars hold for us? Meanwhile, scientists continue their work, analyzing data and seeking answers. Human curiosity is insatiable, and despite the challenges, the quest for understanding always persists. Are we close to discovering the truth behind Mars's dark marks? Perhaps in the future, with new technologies and missions, we can unravel this enigma. The dark marks are just a part of the Martian puzzle. As we explore, we realize that Mars is not just a desolate planet. It is a place full of history and potential. Every feature of its surface speaks of a time when it may have been very different. And that possibility is what drives us to keep investigating. At the end of the day, the search for answers about Mars is not just a scientific matter. It is an exploration of our own curiosity, of our desire to understand the universe around us. The dark marks, although mysterious, represent our longing for knowledge and connection with other worlds. What else will we discover as we continue our adventure in the cosmos? The answer awaits us, just in the next image we take of our red neighbor. The hexagon on Saturn is one of the most intriguing and enigmatic phenomena in the solar system. How is it possible for such a perfect geometric figure to form in the atmosphere of a gas giant? To understand this, we must take a closer look at Saturn, the ringed giant. This planet, known for its beauty and majesty, has a wind system in its atmosphere that is, in itself, a marvel of nature. At Saturn's north pole's north, there is this hexagonal formation that has left scientists and curious minds perplexed. With a diameter of approximately 24,000 kilometers, this hexagon is larger than Earth, but what causes it? The winds blowing in this region reach speeds of up to 200 kilometers per hour, creating a pattern that resembles a perfect hexagon. But how do these patterns form in such a dynamic environment? The key lies in fluid dynamics, a science that studies how liquids and gases behave. When winds blow in opposite directions, different currents are generated that interact with each other. Imagine you are in a swimming pool. If two people swim in opposite directions, the waves they create can collide and form patterns in the water. Something similar happens in Saturn's atmosphere. The interaction of the winds produces that astonishing geometric figure. This hexagon is not just a visual curiosity, it also provides us with clues about the planet's atmosphere and its weather patterns. Scientists have observed that the hexagon remains stable over time. Unlike many other atmospheric formations that change rapidly, this pattern has remained constant for decades. What does this mean for our understanding of Saturn? One fascinating aspect of the hexagon is its color. As we observe the images sent by space probes, we notice that it has a deep blue hue. This color is due to the composition of the clouds and the sunlight reflecting off them. Isn't it curious how color can provide us with information about the atmosphere of such a distant planet? Another intriguing question is, what is at the center of the hexagon? Just like in a puzzle where pieces fit perfectly together, there is also a mysterious anticyclone at the center of Saturn's hexagon. This anticyclone features clouds that rotate in a circular pattern, creating an impressive visual contrast compared to the straight lines of the hexagon. Could this anticyclone be the key to understanding the behavior of the hexagon? The stability of the hexagon also leads us to reflect on how patterns form on other planets. For example, on Earth, hurricanes and storm systems also create patterns, although not as geometric as Saturn's hexagon. Could there be other similar phenomena on other planets in our solar system or even on distant exoplanets? As more observations have been made, it has been discovered that the hexagon is not an isolated phenomenon. In other areas of Saturn, similar patterns have been found, although not all as well defined. This suggests that Saturn's atmosphere is a natural laboratory where the interactions of gases and currents can be studied. The exploration of Saturn has been made possible thanks to space probes, such as Cassini, which have provided valuable information about the planet and its characteristics. Thanks to these missions, we have been able to observe the hexagon up close and learn more about its nature. Technology has allowed us to discover wonders that once only existed in our imagination. There is still much to learn about the hexagon and its role in Saturn's atmosphere. Scientists continue to investigate to better understand this phenomenon. What new revelations will future space missions bring us? Human curiosity about the universe is inexhaustible, and each discovery brings us closer to understanding the mysteries that surround us. Imagination also plays an important role in our perception of phenomena like this hexagon. When we observe it, we may wonder, is it a sign of something greater? Could there be patterns in other aspects of the cosmos that we have yet to discover? Science and exploration invite us to question and dream. Finally, the hexagon on Saturn is a reminder of how surprising and diverse our universe is. It shows us that even in places that seem chaotic, forms of beauty and order can emerge. These wonders are just the beginning of our journey through the cosmos. A journey that continues to expand as our curiosity drives us to explore beyond the known. The icy moons of Jupiter and Saturn are fascinating places that have captured the imagination of scientists and space enthusiasts alike. Europa, one of Jupiter's moons, has been the subject of intense research due to the possibility that beneath its icy surface lies an ocean of liquid water. But what does this mean for the search for life in the cosmos? The idea that such a distant world could harbor life is intriguing and exciting, don't you think? Imagine a place where ice covers the surface, but beneath that frozen layer lies a dark and deep ocean. This ocean could have the right conditions for life, similar to Earth's oceans. The question scientists are asking is, could there be organisms living in that hidden ocean? The answer could change our understanding of life in the universe. Enceladus, Saturn's moon, offers a similar story. This small celestial body has geysers that expel water vapor and ice particles into space. This has led scientists to think that, like Europa, there could be a subsurface ocean. The possibility that there are suitable conditions for life, even in forms we do not know, sparks curiosity. What secrets does Enceladus hold beneath its icy surface? The search for life on Europa and Enceladus is not just a matter of scientific curiosity, it also has profound implications for humanity. If we find life, even in microbial form, it could change our perspective on our existence in the universe. Are we alone, or are there other forms of life that have managed to thrive in unexpected places? This search raises questions about the diversity of life and its ability to adapt to extreme environments. To better understand these worlds, scientists have proposed space missions focused on these moons. Imagine a probe traveling billions of kilometers, traversing the cold of space to explore Europa and Enceladus. What data could it collect? What discoveries could change our understanding of the universe? Each mission is a step toward answering these questions. The study of Europa and Enceladus also helps us better understand how these celestial bodies formed. The history of these icy worlds is interconnected with the formation of our solar system. The interaction between the gravity of the giant planets and their moons has created unique environments. What other secrets might be revealed by studying them more closely? Furthermore, the search for life on these moons leads us to reflect on life on Earth. What makes a place habitable? Life on our planet thrives under specific conditions, but could life exist in environments we consider inhospitable? The exploration of Europa and Enceladus invites us to expand our definition of habitability. Interest in these worlds is not new. Since their discovery, scientists have been eager to unravel their mysteries. Images of Europa, with its surface full of cracks and lines, have sparked speculation about what might lie beneath. This moon is not just a subject of study, it is a symbol of human curiosity and our relentless quest for knowledge. As we advance in our exploration of space, technologies also evolve. The possibility of sending more sophisticated probes equipped with advanced instruments allows us to investigate more deeply. What discoveries await us in the future? The answers could be closer than we imagine. The relationship between water and life is a recurring theme in science. On Earth, water is essential for all living beings. If Europa and Enceladus contain liquid water, even in the form of subsurface oceans, the possibility of finding life becomes more tangible. This connection leads us to wonder how many other places in the universe might have water and therefore the potential for life. The exploration of these moons also raises ethical and philosophical dilemmas. If we find life, how should we interact with it? Should we protect these ecosystems, or will our curiosity lead us to explore them without restraint? These questions are fundamental in our quest for knowledge and understanding of the cosmos. As we continue to explore Europa and Enceladus, each discovery brings us closer to a deeper understanding of our place in the universe. The excitement of the possibility of finding life, of discovering something completely new, is a powerful motivation for scientists and for all of us. What other secrets will the universe reveal to us in our quest to know it? The exploration of these icy moons is not just a scientific mission, it is a journey into the unknown. It reminds us that although we are a small part of the vast cosmos, our curiosity and determination can lead us to discover wonders we cannot yet imagine. The search for life on Europa and Enceladus is a reminder that the universe is full of surprises and that despite the distances, there is always something new to discover. What is really driving the expansion of the universe? That is one of the most intriguing questions that scientists have tried to answer in recent decades. In the vast cosmic stage, there exists a mysterious force that seems to be pushing galaxies apart at an ever-increasing speed. This force is what we know as dark energy. But how did this concept come about, and what does it really mean for us? The story of dark energy begins with the observation of the expanding universe. At the beginning of the 20th century, astronomers noticed that galaxies were not only moving away from each other, but doing so at an increasing speed. This challenged the intuition of many, as it had long been thought that gravity, which attracts masses, should be slowing that expansion. However, data collected by the Hubble Space Telescope and other instruments revealed that gravity was not enough to explain what was happening. One might think of the universe as a balloon being inflated. When you blow air into it, the parts of the surface move away from each other. At first, you might think that the air pressure could cause the balloon to stop. However, imagine that instead of stopping, the balloon starts to inflate even faster. That is exactly what is happening in our universe. Something is pushing that expansion, and that something is dark energy. To better understand, it is helpful to consider the amount of dark energy present in the universe. According to current theories, about 73% of the universe is made up of dark energy. This means that on a cosmic scale, most of what makes up our universe is invisible and acts in a way that we do not yet fully understand. Isn't it surprising to think that most of what exists in the cosmos is a mystery? Scientists have proposed various theories to explain this dark energy. One of them suggests that it could be a type of energy that is present throughout space, a kind of vacuum that is actually filled with energy. This vacuum is not inert. In fact, it could be filled with particles that constantly appear and disappear. This idea, although difficult to imagine, opens new doors on how we understand the fundamental nature of the universe. Some theories suggest that dark energy could be related to the cosmological constant, an idea that Albert Einstein introduced in his famous equation of general relativity. Einstein originally thought that this constant could help explain why the universe was not collapsing under its own gravity. However, after the discovery that the universe was expanding, he discarded the idea, calling it his greatest mistake. Ironically, that same constant has returned to the conversation, now as a possible explanation for dark energy. The question that arises is, could we ever fully understand dark energy? Some theories suggest that if we managed to comprehend it, we could unravel other mysteries of the universe, from the formation of galaxies to the ultimate fate of the cosmos. But for that, we need better observations and tools that allow us to look beyond what we know. The technology of telescopes and space missions will continue to be crucial in this journey into the unknown. Another fascinating question is how dark energy might influence the future of the universe. Some scientists suggest that it could lead to a scenario known as the Big Rip, where the expansion accelerates so much that it eventually tears apart all structures in the universe, from galaxies to atoms. However, others believe that dark energy could stabilize, leading to a universe in eternal equilibrium. Which of these possibilities is more likely? Only time and research will tell. In the meantime, dark energy invites us to reflect on our own existence. If most of the cosmos is made up of something we barely understand, what else is there left to discover? The search for answers about dark energy is a powerful reminder that the universe is a place full of secrets, and that each discovery brings us closer to understanding our place in it. The exploration of dark energy also raises questions about the nature of reality itself. If something so fundamental is invisible and elusive, What else might be hidden from our senses? It pushes us to question what we think we know and to open our minds to the possibility that reality is much more complex and astonishing than we imagine. As we advance in our quest for knowledge, dark energy remains a fascinating enigma that challenges our understanding of the universe. It reminds us that despite our great advances in science, there is still much to discover and explore. The story of dark energy is just a chapter in the vast narrative of the cosmos. And it is a reminder that human curiosity should never cease to seek answers among the stars. What is dark matter, and why is it one of the greatest mysteries of the universe? At first glance, it might seem that dark matter has little to do with our daily lives, but in reality, its existence is fundamental to understanding how the cosmos works. Imagine you are in a vast ocean of stars and galaxies, where most of the matter that makes up this ocean is invisible. That is the essence of dark matter, a substance we cannot see but we know is there, influencing the movement and structure of galaxies. Throughout history, scientists have observed that galaxies rotate at a much higher speed than expected, given the number of stars visible within them. In other words, there is something keeping those galaxies together, something we cannot see. Isn't it curious how, in an apparently bright and colourful universe, there is a large part that remains hidden? As if it were a cosmic magic trick, dark matter represents about 25% of the universe. To put it in perspective, if the universe were a cake, visible matter, such as stars, planets and gas, would be just a small portion of that delicious dessert. Most of the cake is made of this strange dark matter, which does not emit light or energy, making it practically undetectable with the optical instruments we usually use. So how do we know it exists? One of the most important clues comes from the way galaxies cluster together. Just like a group of friends in a park, galaxies tend to gather in clusters. By observing these clusters, astronomers notice that the amount of visible matter is not enough to hold them together. What mysterious force keeps them together? The answer seems to lie in dark matter, which acts as an invisible skeleton that supports the structure of the universe. Another piece of evidence comes from the cosmic microwave background radiation, an echo of the Big Bang. This background radiation shows variations that suggest dark matter plays a crucial role in the formation of large-scale structures in the universe. Without it, the universe would be a very different place, possibly much emptier and more chaotic. Can you imagine a cosmos where galaxies do not form as they do now, where the beauty of space is lost in disorganization? But what exactly is this dark matter? Some scientists describe it as a form of particles that do not interact in the ways we know. They are often referred to as ghost particles because they pass through normal matter without being detected. There are several theories about their composition, ranging from supersymmetric particles to primordial black holes. However, so far, no one has managed to detect them directly. This raises a fascinating question. Could it be that dark matter is so strange that it challenges us to rethink what we know about physics? Imagine you are searching for hidden treasure in a vast field. Even though you have a map, there are no visible signs indicating its location. That is how the search for dark matter feels, a mystery that drives us to explore every corner of the universe. And as scientists continue to explore, they find more questions than answers. What other secrets does the universe hold? Some researchers are using extremely sensitive detectors in underground laboratories, trying to catch these elusive particles. Others are observing the movement of distant galaxies, looking for more clues about how dark matter affects their behavior. Each new discovery brings us one step closer to unraveling this cosmic enigma. The fact that we cannot see dark matter does not mean it does not have a significant impact. In fact, it may be responsible for the formation of our own galaxy, the Milky Way. Without it, the matter we can see would not have enough weight to form such complex structures as those we observe today. It is as if dark matter were the cement in the construction of a skyscraper. Although you cannot see it, it is fundamental to the stability of the building. This mystery also leads us to reflect on our own existence. If dark matter represents such a significant part of the universe, what does that mean for us, for the way we understand our place in the cosmos? The search for dark matter is also a quest for identity, an exploration of what it truly means to be part of this vast universe. As we continue our exploration, dark matter reminds us that there is always more to discover. Every question we answer opens the door to new unknowns. In this sense, dark matter is a symbol of human curiosity and the desire to understand the unknown. Who knows what other secrets the universe has in store for us? The search for answers is far from over. How did it all begin? What lies behind the immensity of the universe that surrounds us? The answer lies in a monumental explosion that occurred approximately 13,800,000,000 years ago. The Big Bang. This monumental event not only created time and space, but also sowed the seeds of all the matter and energy that make up our cosmos. But how do we know that the Big Bang really happened? The evidence is more compelling than you might imagine. One of the most fascinating pieces of evidence is the cosmic microwave background radiation. Think of it as the echo of the original explosion. This radiation can be detected in all directions in space and is the remnant of the heat that remained after the Big Bang. Imagine you are in a vast ocean and the only thing you can hear is the whisper of the waves. That is the background radiation, the whisper of a universe that was once extremely hot and dense. But what happened after that initial explosion? As the universe began to expand, it cooled rapidly, allowing subatomic particles like protons and electrons to come together to form atoms. However, it wasn't until hundreds of millions of years later that those atoms came together to form the first stars and galaxies. It's like preparing a recipe. First, you need the ingredients, but then you must combine them in the right way for the magic to happen. The expansion of the universe is not just a historical fact, it is still happening today. In fact, galaxies are moving away from each other, and that expansion is accelerating. But what does this mean? Imagine the universe is a balloon that is being inflated. As the balloon expands, the points on its surface move away from each other. This phenomenon was discovered by astronomer Edwin Hubble in the 1920s. And his discovery forever changed our understanding of the cosmos. However, it's not all that simple. As scientists have studied the expansion of the universe, they have encountered an even more intriguing puzzle: dark energy. This mysterious force seems to be responsible for the acceleration of the universe's expansion. Although we cannot see dark energy, its influence is undeniable. What if I told you it accounts for about 70% of the universe's total energy? It's as if we have a secret ingredient in a recipe that we don't know what it is, but it is crucial for everything to work. Dark matter also plays a fundamental role in this story, although we cannot see it or detect it directly. Its presence is inferred from the gravitational effects it has on visible matter. Imagine you are in a dark room and you cannot see the furniture around you, but you can feel something pushing those pieces of furniture towards you. That is what dark matter does in the universe. It affects stars and galaxies without us being able to see it. So, what is the origin of all this? The Big Bang Theory not only explains how the universe began, but also raises questions about its future. Will it continue to expand forever, or will it eventually stop and begin to contract? These questions are the subject of intense debate in the scientific community. Another fascinating issue is the Olbers paradox. If the universe is so vast and filled with stars, why is the night sky dark? This paradox leads us to reflect on the nature of the universe, its finiteness, and the amount of time that has passed since the Big Bang. It's like looking at a vast field full of flowers and wondering why not all of them are in full bloom at the same time. The shape of the universe is another mystery that intrigues us. Is it flat, spherical, or does it have some other shape? The geometry of the cosmos has profound implications for how we understand its structure and expansion. Through various observations, scientists have concluded that the universe is flat on a large scale, which is an astonishing revelation. As we continue to explore the cosmos, telescopes and space missions are our most powerful tools. They allow us to look beyond what our eyes can see and understand the universe in ways that were previously unimaginable. Each new image and each new piece of data are pieces of a puzzle that is still far from complete. Theories about additional dimensions are also an exciting area of study. Could it be that there are realities that escape our perception? The idea that there is more to the universe than we can see or comprehend is both unsettling and fascinating. So, as we reflect on the Big Bang and its impact on the universe, let us remember that we are in the midst of a quest for answers. Although we have made significant progress in our understanding, the cosmos remains a vast and mysterious place, full of surprises and enigmas to discover. Human curiosity drives us to keep exploring, to keep asking, and to keep searching, because in every answer we find, new questions arise that invite us to continue probing. Ultimately, the story of the universe is also the story of our own quest for knowledge and meaning in a cosmos that is both extraordinary and unknown. The vastness of the universe is a wonder that invites us to reflect on our place within it. Amidst that immensity, an intriguing question arises. Why is the night sky dark, even with millions of stars shining in it? This phenomenon, known as Olbers's paradox, leads us to explore the complexities of cosmology and to question our perception of the cosmos. First, let's consider what happens during the day. When we look at the sky, we see a vibrant blue, the result of sunlight scattering in the atmosphere. But as night falls, darkness envelops us and allows us to admire a stellar spectacle. However, if the universe were filled with stars in all directions, and if these were eternal and uniformly distributed, the sky should shine like a burning surface of light. So why, instead, do we have a vast cloak of darkness? One way to understand this is to imagine a huge field of flowers. If you look towards the horizon, you can see a sea of vibrant colors, but if you approach a single flower, you will notice that there is space between them. This space represents the vast distances between stars. Each star, although bright, is light years away, meaning its light does not reach our eyes instantaneously. Thus, even though the universe is filled with stars, the great distance between them contributes to the darkness of the sky. Moreover, we must consider that the universe is not static. Since its origin, it has been constantly expanding. As it expands, the light from distant stars stretches, a phenomenon called redshift, which causes those lights to shift to longer wavelengths, becoming invisible to us. It's as if we were watching a movie that is playing more slowly, where some colors fade and become unreachable. But Olber's paradox goes beyond simple distance and expansion. Let's imagine a huge and ancient lighthouse on the coast, emitting its light into the infinite ocean. If the lighthouse has been on for 1,000 years, but there are clouds blocking its light, only those who are close enough will be able to see it. This concept also applies to stars and time. The light from many stars has not had enough time to reach us since the universe began. Another aspect influencing this paradox is the finite nature of the observable universe. We cannot see beyond a certain limit known as the universe's horizon. This is because the universe is approximately 13.8 billion years old. If we consider that light travels at a finite speed, there is a limit to how much light from distant stars can reach us. The stars that are beyond that horizon are simply not visible to us, further contributing to the darkness of the sky. we must also take into account the existence of dark matter and dark energy, which are mysterious elements in the universe. Although we cannot see them directly, their influence is undeniable. These forces seem to play a crucial role in how the cosmos is structured and could be affecting the light we perceive. The darkness of the night sky may also serve as a reminder that there is much more to discover in the universe beyond what our eyes can see. Olber's paradox leads us to question not only the nature of the universe, but also our own existence. If the sky were filled with light, how would our perception of life change? Would we be able to see the stars in the same way? Perhaps the darkness provides us with a space to reflect, to contemplate our deepest questions, and to seek answers in the vastness of the cosmos. The beauty of this mystery lies in the fact that in seeking an answer, we find ourselves on a journey of discovery. Each star we see is a reminder that we are part of something much larger than ourselves. The darkness of the night sky is not an absence of light, but an invitation to explore, to question, and to marvel at the immensity of the universe. In the end, Olber's paradox is not just an astronomical phenomenon, but also a reflection of our innate curiosity. It drives us to continue exploring the cosmos, to advance our research, and to seek knowledge that, although sometimes elusive, has always been there, waiting to be discovered. In every twinkle of a star, there is a story, a mystery, a spark of light that invites us to keep dreaming and exploring, and thus the darkness of the sky becomes a blank canvas ready to be illuminated by our questions and discoveries. The shape of the universe is a mystery that has fascinated scientists and philosophers alike. Imagine the universe as a huge balloon filled with air. As you inflate the balloon, its surface expands and the marks on its surface move away from each other. This is one way astronomers conceptualize the expansion of the universe, a space that expands and pushes galaxies apart, as if they were painted on the surface of that balloon. But what shape does the universe really have? It may seem like a simple question, but the answer is incredibly complex. Some scientists suggest that the universe is flat, like a sheet of paper, meaning that if you draw parallel lines, they will never meet. Others believe that the universe has a closed shape, like the surface of a sphere, where parallel lines would eventually converge. But how can we know what the true shape of the universe is if we cannot see it in its entirety? One of the most useful tools for investigating this is the light from stars and galaxies. Light travels over enormous distances, and by observing how it behaves, scientists can gather clues about the geometry of the universe. However, light not only tells us about the shape, but also about the history of the universe. For example, if we look back in time, we can see how stars and galaxies have moved and evolved. But what about the curvature of space itself? The curvature of space relates to the amount of matter and energy present in the universe. If there is enough matter, the universe could be closed, like a sphere. If there is too little, it could be open, like a saddle. But the fascinating thing is that even though the universe seems to be expanding, there may be more at play. Dark energy, a mysterious force that appears to be driving this expansion, could influence the shape of the universe. Could it be that this dark energy is shaping the cosmos in ways we do not yet understand? Some models suggest that the universe could be infinite, meaning it would have no edge or end. This opens up a vast horizon of questions. What lies beyond what we can see? Could there be other universes, each with its own shape and rules? The idea of a multiverse where multiple universes exist is as intriguing as it is perplexing. The shape of the universe could also influence its fate. If the universe is flat and continues to expand, it could keep doing so forever. However, if it is closed, it could eventually start to contract, leading to a big crunch where everything would compress back into a point. What does this mean for us and our existence? The idea that our universe could have a definitive end is difficult to accept. Meanwhile, scientists continue to develop models and theories to better understand the shape of the universe. They use telescopes and advanced techniques to observe the most distant galaxies and cosmic background radiation, which is the echo of the Big Bang. As these technologies improve, so does our understanding. But what discoveries await us in the future? The shape of the universe is not just an academic interest, it has profound implications for our understanding of reality. If the universe is finite, what does that mean in terms of life, death, and continuity? On the other hand, if it is infinite, where do we fit into this vast cosmos? Moreover, our beliefs about the shape of the universe can influence how we see ourselves. If we are in a closed universe, it might make us feel trapped in a cycle. If it is open, it could give us a sense of freedom and endless exploration. The shape of the universe ultimately may reflect our own hopes and fears. As we continue to seek answers, it is important to remember that while science can shed light on many questions, there are still aspects that remain in the dark. Human curiosity drives us to explore the unknown, and the quest for the shape of the universe is an integral part of that journey. Each advance brings us a little closer to understanding our place in the cosmos. So, as we keep looking to the stars, let us remember that the shape of the universe is just one of the many questions we have yet to answer. The essence of our existence may be tied to the vastness of the cosmos, and each discovery invites us to keep exploring. In this journey, the shape of the universe is a reminder that there is still much to learn and discover. And that is what makes the exploration of the cosmos so exciting. Ultimately, the shape of the universe is more than a simple matter of geometry. It is a reflection of our relentless search for meaning and connection in a vast and mysterious cosmos. What shape does your universe take? What questions would you like to explore on this infinite journey? The adventure is just beginning. The expansion of the universe is a fascinating phenomenon that has intrigued scientists and curious minds alike. What does it mean that the universe is expanding? Imagine a balloon. When you inflate it, the small marks drawn on its surface move away from each other. As the balloon expands, the distance between those marks increases. Similarly, the universe is constantly expanding, and galaxies which are like those marks are moving away from each other. But what is behind this mysterious process? The idea that the universe is expanding is not new. In the 20th century, astronomer Edwin Hubble made an astonishing discovery. All galaxies are moving away from us. The farther away a galaxy is, the faster it is receding. This phenomenon is known as Hubble's law and is fundamental to understanding how our cosmos behaves. But how is it possible that the entire universe is in motion? The answer lies in dark energy, a mysterious force that seems to be driving this expansion. Although we cannot see or touch it, it is believed to make up about 73% of the total energy of the universe. Can you imagine an invisible force that affects the fate of everything we know? Dark energy acts like an engine that accelerates the expansion of the cosmos, challenging our understanding of gravity. The expansion of the universe also raises intriguing questions about its future. If the universe continues to expand, what will happen to the galaxies? Some scientists suggest that eventually they will move so far apart that it will become impossible to see them. This could lead to a cold and dark universe where stars extinguish and matter disperses into a vast void. But could there be a different ending? An alternative theory is the Big Crunch, which proposes that instead of continuing to expand indefinitely, the universe could eventually begin to contract. This would mean that all galaxies would come closer together until they collide at a single point. It would be a cosmic cycle where the universe expands and then contracts, like an eternal breath. However, current data suggests that accelerated expansion is the most likely path. What role do black holes play in this cosmic scenario? These regions of space have such intense gravity that nothing, not even light, can escape their pull. Their influence on the dynamics of the universe is an active area of research. Some scientists believe that black holes could play a role in the expansion of the universe. But much remains to be discovered. Telescopes have been fundamental in our understanding of the expansion of the universe. Thanks to them, we have been able to observe distant galaxies and measure their speed of recession. Have you ever wondered how astronomers can measure such vast distances? They use the light from stars and shifts in their spectrum to determine how fast they are moving away. It's like listening to the sound of a train receding. The higher pitched the sound, the faster it is moving away. The expansion of the universe also leads us to question the nature of time. If the universe is expanding, does that mean time is also expanding? By looking back, scientists can observe how the universe was in its early days, just after the Big Bang. This cosmic explosion marked the beginning of time as we know it. But what was there before the Big Bang? That question remains one of the greatest mysteries of cosmology. With each discovery, the universe becomes more astonishing. The expansion is not just a physical phenomenon, it is an invitation to reflect on our place in the cosmos. From the Big Bang to the current acceleration, each stage of the universe's expansion reveals something new about the nature of reality. What other secrets does the future hold for us? Advances in technology and space exploration continue to shed light on these mysteries. The mission to observe the universe is not just about understanding its past, but also about preparing for what is to come. Are we alone in this vast expansion? The search for life on other worlds and the understanding of cosmic phenomena are part of our innate curiosity. As we reflect on the expansion of the universe, it is essential to recognize that we are part of this cosmic narrative. Every star, every planet, and every galaxy is part of an interconnected whole. The expansion reminds us that, although we are separated by vast distances, we are all on this journey together. In a constantly changing universe, human curiosity remains a powerful force. What else will we discover about the expansion of the universe in the future? As we continue to explore and question, let us remember that each answer generates new questions. The pursuit of knowledge is, in itself, an infinite journey. The exploration of the universe has been a dream that has captivated human imagination since time immemorial. But how do we know what we know about the vast cosmos that surrounds us? The answer to this question lies in telescopes, those amazing instruments that act as our windows to the universe. Without them, we would be limited to observing a handful of stars with the naked eye, ignoring the majesty of distant galaxies, the planets in our own solar system, and the mysteries hidden in deep space. Telescopes have evolved over the centuries, from Galileo's simple design to the complex technological wonders they are today. What made Galileo a pioneer of astronomy? Using a telescope of his own creation, he was able to observe Jupiter's moons, Saturn's rings, and the phases of Venus. These discoveries revolutionized our understanding of the cosmos and challenged the entrenched beliefs of his time. With each new type of telescope developed, new doors to human curiosity have been opened. And what about modern telescopes? Imagine a device that can see beyond what your eyes can perceive. Radio telescopes, for example, capture radio waves coming from celestial objects. This allows us to study phenomena that are invisible to visible light, such as supernova explosions or black holes. Just as a musician can tune their ear to hear notes that others cannot, astronomers fine-tune their instruments to capture what the universe has to offer. Another fascinating advancement has been the development of space telescopes, like the famous Hubble Space Telescope. By being outside Earth's atmosphere, these telescopes can capture sharper and clearer images. Can you imagine seeing the universe without the distortion created by the Earth's atmosphere? Hubble's images have revealed forming galaxies, bright nebulae, and exoplanets, providing us with a deeper insight into the structure and evolution of the universe. Each photograph is like a painting filled with the colors of existence itself. But why is observation so crucial in astronomy? Think of the history of the universe as a massive book. Telescopes are the flashlights that illuminate its pages. Without these tools, we would lose a significant part of cosmic history. Every star, every galaxy, every phenomenon we observe tells a story about the past, present, and future of the cosmos. The light we see from a star may have traveled millions of years to reach us. Therefore, when we look at the sky, we are seeing the past. The importance of telescopes also extends to the search for life on other planets. Imagine you are looking for clues about the existence of a neighbor living several kilometers away. Wouldn't you want to use the best equipment possible to spy on their garden? In the same way, telescopes help us investigate the atmospheres of exoplanets for signs of life. By analyzing the light that passes through the atmospheres of these distant worlds, we can detect the presence of gases like oxygen and methane, which could indicate biological activity. But what about space missions? Telescopes are not just observational tools, they are travel companions in the exploration of space. Space probes like Voyager have provided valuable data about the outer planets and beyond, complementing what telescopes can see from Earth. Just like an explorer venturing into an unknown jungle, these probes send us crucial information about the worlds they visit, expanding our knowledge of the solar system. The technology behind telescopes has also advanced in surprising ways. Did you know that today we can combine images from multiple telescopes to create a single, more detailed image? This process, known as interferometry, is like piecing together fragments of a puzzle to reveal a complete picture. Thanks to this approach, astronomers can observe extremely distant and faint objects that would otherwise be invisible. The search for new telescopes continues as well. Telescopes are being developed that can observe in wavelengths of light that are not visible to us. For example, infrared telescopes are essential for studying cold and distant objects, such as gas and dust clouds where new stars are formed. Imagine being able to see the universe in a completely different light, revealing secrets that have been hidden from our eyes. With each new discovery, telescopes push us to rethink our ideas about the universe. What unexplored worlds await us? What mysteries have we yet to unravel? Every time we look through one of these instruments, it reminds us how small we are compared to the vastness of the cosmos. But it also shows us how great our achievements and curiosity can be. The history of telescopes is, in itself, a story of hope, discovery, and wonder. It invites us to keep exploring, to keep questioning, and to keep dreaming big. As technology advances, the sky is no longer the limit. It is just the beginning of our endless quest for knowledge. So, the next time you look up at the stars, remember that behind every flicker of light lies a universe of stories waiting to be told. And that thanks to telescopes, we have the opportunity to hear them. What if I told you that there is more to our universe than what we can see? Imagine that our reality is just the tip of the iceberg. As scientists delve into the mysteries of the cosmos, the possibility of additional dimensions begins to take shape. The idea that our universe could be just a small part of a much vaster reality is fascinating and, at the same time, perplexing. Visualize a book with many pages. Each page represents a different dimension. The one we are reading is the third dimension, where we live, move, and experience everyday life. But what if we could turn to the next page and explore what lies in the fourth or even the fifth dimension? What secrets and wonders would await us there? That is the essence of the theory of additional dimensions. Modern physics has led us to question what we consider the limit of our existence with string theory. For example, it is suggested that what we perceive as subatomic particles are, in fact, tiny vibrating strings resonating in multiple dimensions. What if these vibrating strings move in a space that includes dimensions we cannot observe? That could explain phenomena that today seem inexplicable. The notion of additional dimensions may sound like something out of a science fiction novel, but there are scientists working on these theories. Analogies are often used to help understand such abstract concepts. Think of a sphere in three-dimensional space. If we look at that sphere from a two-dimensional perspective, we would only see a circle. However, by adding one more dimension, we begin to see a complete figure. This leads us to wonder, what are we missing in our three-dimensional perception that could be evident in higher dimensions? The curiosity about these additional dimensions is not new. For years, philosophers and scientists have speculated about the existence of realities beyond our perceptions. Could there be parallel worlds that coexist with ours, invisible to our senses but accessible through theoretical exploration? This idea raises more questions than answers, and each new theory opens the door to a universe of possibilities. Let's consider gravity, one of the fundamental forces of the universe. At first, it seems simple. Objects fall to the earth due to this force. But what if gravity is not just a force, but the result of an interaction with additional dimensions? Perhaps what we call gravity in our dimension is the manifestation of a phenomenon occurring in a multidimensional space. How would our understanding of the universe change if we could unravel this mystery? Experiments in particle accelerators such as the Large Hadron Collider seek evidence of these hidden dimensions. Scientists are trying to see beyond what our eyes can capture. Imagine that each particle collision is like a flash of light that allows us to glimpse what exists in those dimensions. But could we really handle the information that this would bring us? Would we be prepared to accept that our view of the universe is just a fraction of reality? The idea of additional dimensions also touches on life itself. If we consider that more dimensions exist, that could imply that our consciousness also has a multidimensional component. What if our perception of time and space is not limited to what we know? Perhaps every decision we make and every path we choose opens new dimensions of existence. The exploration of additional dimensions also leads us to think about the nature of time. In our everyday experience, time seems linear, past, present, and future. But what if in a higher dimension, time is a sphere where all moments coexist simultaneously? This idea, often presented in quantum physics theories, could radically change our understanding of life and death. The search for these dimensions is not just a theoretical matter, it also has practical implications. If we manage to discover and understand additional dimensions, we could gain access to new technologies, forms of energy, and even transportation methods that today seem straight out of a science fiction novel. Can you imagine being able to travel through dimensions as if they were intergalactic highways? As science advances, the possibility of additional dimensions becomes increasingly intriguing. Ongoing research could lead us to a future where the exploration of the cosmos is not limited to what we can see, but also encompasses what we cannot. Are we ready to expand our minds and accept that the universe may be much more complex than we ever imagined? The quest for knowledge is endless, and every answer we find raises new questions. On this journey into the unknown, we are reminded that the universe is a vast mystery, full of surprises and secrets waiting to be discovered. The possibility of additional dimensions invites us to keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep dreaming. In the end, the exploration of the unknown is what drives us as a species. Curiosity is the engine of our progress, and the search for answers about the hidden dimensions of the universe is an invitation to move forward. What other mysteries await us in the vastness of the cosmos? The answer may be closer than we think. We just need to look beyond the obvious. The universe, with its vastness and unfathomable mysteries, has always been an object of fascination for humanity. What secrets does it hold? Throughout the centuries, we have looked up at the sky, wondering about our existence, the purpose of the stars, and whether we are alone in this vast cosmic ocean. The quest for knowledge resembles a journey on a sailing ship in the midst of an unknown expanse. Every answer we find is just an island in an ocean that stretches to the horizon. Human curiosity is insatiable. What lies beyond what our eyes can see? As we explore, we discover that the universe is not only a place of beauty, but also a stage filled with astonishing events and phenomena that challenge our understanding. From the Big Bang, which gave rise to everything we know, to the mysterious dark energy that seems to push the universe to expand, each discovery leads us to new questions. What other surprises await us in this vast cosmos? Let us consider the possibility that our understanding of the universe is just the tip of the iceberg. What if there are dimensions we have not been able to perceive? The idea that what we know is only a fraction of reality is both unsettling and exciting. Imagining that there is more to discover, more to understand, can be a powerful motivator to continue exploring. Each new theory, each discovery opens doors to realities we could not even conceive before. The search for life on other planets, for example, is not just a matter of scientific curiosity, but a quest for companionship in the universe. Are we alone, or are there other intelligent beings seeking their place among the stars? The icy moons of Jupiter and Saturn, with their hidden oceans beneath layers of ice, become focal points of attention. The possibility of life on Europa or Enceladus raises fascinating questions. What kind of life could exist there? Would it be similar to ours or completely different? Meanwhile, phenomena like Jupiter's Great Red Spot and the hexagon on Saturn show us that the universe is full of wonders. These structures are not just curiosities. They are clues about the processes that shape the planets. What do they tell us about the history and dynamics of these worlds? Science becomes a detective seeking to solve the great mystery of the cosmos. Olber's paradox poses another unsettling question. Why is the night sky dark if there are so many stars in the universe? This question invites us to reflect on the nature of light and time. The answer is not simple and reveals much about the expansion of the universe and the way light travels. Such questions remind us that the universe is not only vast but also profoundly complex. At the heart of this complexity are telescopes, our windows to the universe. Without them, our understanding of what is out there would be limited. These instruments have allowed us to observe distant worlds, explore galaxies, and discover exoplanets. Technology advances, and with it, our possibilities to see and understand expand. What new wonders will the telescopes of the future show us? As we progress on this journey of discovery, we also face concepts that challenge our perception of reality. Dark matter and dark energy are two of the great enigmas of cosmology. Although we cannot see them directly, their influence is undeniable. What role do they play in the structure of the universe? Science continues to seek answers, and each finding brings us a little closer to unraveling these mysteries. The shape of the universe is another question that leads us to deep reflection. Is the universe flat, curved, or does it have a more complex shape? The implications of these questions affect our understanding of the ultimate fate of the cosmos. Are we destined to expand forever? Or will there come a time when everything stops? Such speculations are not only fascinating but also show us how little we really know. The history of humanity is intertwined with the history of the universe. Every discovery we make about the stars, matter, and energy helps us better understand our own place in this vast stage. As we delve into the unknown, we must remember that each answer leads us to new questions. The quest for knowledge is an endless journey, and each step we take brings us closer to understanding who we are. We may never obtain all the answers, and that is okay. The beauty of the universe lies in its mystery. curiosity and the desire to explore are what drive us forward. Every star that shines in the sky is a reminder that although we are small compared to the vastness of the cosmos, our curiosity is infinite. The exploration of the universe is a collective journey. We are all connected in this search for answers. By sharing our discoveries, we learn from each other and grow as a species. It is a reminder that despite our differences, we all share a common awe at the grandeur of the cosmos. So, as we look at the stars tonight, let us remember that we are in the midst of an extraordinary journey. Every question we ask opens new doors, and every answer we find pushes us to move forward. The universe is a vast mystery, and the quest for knowledge is the thread that unites us all in this cosmic adventure. What will we discover next? Only time will tell, but one thing is certain, the journey is just beginning.